In the name of Allah. Hello, my dear students in our distance learning by Mr. مسعد Saber and the English supervisor, Mr. Ahmed Shirbin. Al-Aus Private School for Boys. Traveler 2, Lesson 20, revision on page 21. Now let's go to this page in your notes. We took this page before, but I'd like to revise it with you because it has an important role in grammar. So, my dear students, you must pay attention and follow me to read the words at first. Then we are going to go to the grammar and explain how to form the question tags like I told you before. Please repeat after me. Account, account, exchange, exchange, euro, euro, refuse, refuse, accept, accept, rate, rate, brochure, brochure. Now let's go to the next column. Cash machine, cash machine, commission, commission, deposit, deposit, withdraw, withdraw, swallow, swallow, debt, debt, hesitate, hesitate. Okay, this is the words in this page. Now let's go to the grammar. At first, I'd like to say we are going to explain a new role. We took it before, but I want to revise it with you. The first one, the negative questions. And the second, the question tags. Like I told you before, when we expect the listener to agree with us, or when we want to express about surprise, we use the negative questions. But what is the form of the negative questions? The form of the negative questions must be like this. We must start with auxiliary verb or helping verb plus not. And N apostrophe T is a short form of the word not. Plus subject plus main verb. Again, when we want to make a negative question, we must start the question with the helping verb, like you see in the example, do, and not, like you see, we say don't. Then we put the subject of the sentence or the question and the verb, then complete the sentence. So the question or the negative question must be like this. Don't you want to come to the museum with us? We use the negative question here when we expect the listener to agree with us. And in this example or this question, haven't you been to the city center before? Here we wanted to express about surprise. And notes, in the first example and the second, we use or start with the negative helping verb, like don't and haven't, because we are using or are talking about the negative questions, so we must start with helping verb, but must be in negative. Now let's go to another role. And this role is very important, like I told you before, the question tags. At first we must know why we use the question tags, and then what is the form of the question tags. The question tags are short questions at the end of statements. We use them when we are not sure about something, or when we want the other person to agree with us. And we form the question tags with the auxiliary or modal verbs of the sentence and a personal pronoun in the same person or for the same person as the subject. Again, what is the question tags? The question tags are short questions at the end of statements. Okay, why we use the question tags? We use the question tags when we are not sure about something. This is number one. And the second thing, when we want the other person to agree with us. Okay? What is the form for the question tags? The form, we put the auxiliary verb or the modal verb and then the pronoun which related to the subject of the main sentence. Like you see in the example, you couldn't see him. This is the main sentence. Starts with subject pronoun you and the modal verb couldn't and the complete. Then in the question tag we put comma, then we start the question tag with modal verb couldn't, but in the question tag here we must put it could. And the same subject pronoun. But if there is a noun here in the beginning of the sentence, we must use the pronoun which relates to this noun. If we say here Ahmed, here in the question tag we use the pronoun he. If we say here in the beginning of the sentence Fatima, in the question tag we must use the pronoun she, because we can't use the noun. We can't say could Ahmed, could Fatima. That's wrong. The right thing, could you, could he, could she. But here we use could instead of couldn't, and you, because it's the subject of the sentence. And you notice here in this example, if the sentence or the main sentence in negative, the question tag must be in affirmative or positive. Like you see, couldn't becomes could. And here, Tom believed him. Here, the sentence in positive, so the question tag must be in negative. And here, there isn't any helping verb. So we must look at the main verb carefully to take the modal or the helping verb. Here the verb or the main verb in the past, so we use the helping verb did. But we must say didn't, because here the sentence or the main sentence in affirmative or positive, so the question tag must be in negative. And we use he instead of Tom, because I told you we can't use the nouns, but we must use the pronoun which relates to the noun. When the statement is affirmative, we use a negative question tag, like I told you. The boys are at school. Here, this is affirmative sentence, so the question tag must be in negative. Aren't, and we use they instead of the boys because they are plural noun. And when the statement is negative, we use a positive question tag. She hasn't seen the doctor yet. Has she? Here we use has instead of hasn't, because here the main sentence in negative, so the question tag must be in affirmative or positive. And we use the pronoun she because it's the subject of the main sentence. Okay, my dear students, this is our lesson for today. In the end, I'd like to thank you for your follow. I hope you read the words after me and know how to form the question tags. Thank you, and wait me in the next video with exercises page 22. Goodbye.